black odometers, faking title documents, and not having a licensed business facility. These are just some of the reasons more than a dozen car wholesalers in Wisconsin got their licenses revoked. The Department of Transportation reports 20 car wholesalers in both Arlington and Beaver Dam can no longer operate in the state because of the recent offenses. You may remember about a year ago, 15 investigators looked into one of the two facilities, this one in Arlington, after noticing how many licenses were being revoked connected to the same address. We uncovered these images inside the building where more than 1,000 wholesalers were supposedly operating out of. The DOT notes in recent years they've seen a, quote, dramatic number of wholesale dealer complaints like these, resulting in investigations.